Okay, what I want to show you here is what your video response will be. Well, what I want to show you is how easy it is to look at these test results and see for yourself what the problem is. This is the most important number here, is this progesterone estrogen ratio. It should be greater than 200. So what you look at is that this estrogen is 1.1. 1.1 times 200 is 220. So her progesterone needs to be at least 220 for this ratio to be correct. Now, this is a 53-year-old woman who's complaining of mood swings, hot flashes, fatigue. And so this is the 3 hormone tests: estrogen, progesterone, and testosterone. Also, I'm sorry, it has DHEA in it also. So the progesterone estrogen ratio is what's important. Now, I gave her 100 milligrams of oral progesterone, or you can use our supplement latex that can do almost the same. Now, what you see now is that her estrogen went down a little bit because I think she lost some weight over the 2 to 3 months from these 2 tests. So her estrogen is 0.9. So 0.9 times 200 would be 180. You see her progesterone is 222. Her progesterone estrogen ratio is normal. Her hot flashes went away. She's able to sleep better. She lost some weight. She doesn't have mood swings anymore. She feels much better. Now, also, she's a professional woman, so she has a lot of stress. I think she's taking care of her mother who has dementia, so she has a lot of stress. This is her before cortisol. Now, normal cortisol should be in this green area here. That means that in the morning, because cortisol mobilizes glucose, you have the most amount of energy. It goes down around noontime. You hit a little lull. You eat your lunch. You go through the rest of the day. In the evening, you eat dinner. You get tired. You go to sleep. This is what's supposed to happen. Now, this is this patient. So you see in the morning, she should have this much cortisol, and now her cortisol is down here. So she wakes up and she doesn't have much energy. It's hard for her to get out of bed. And she just goes through the day kind of sluggish. And then at night, you see this begins to go up. And a lot of times when you see this, a patient will say she wakes up at 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning. So with that, we gave her a supplement called Adrenacare that you can also find in our store. And that Adrenacare has adaptogens that helps her better adapt to stress. She takes those twice a day. Now her cortisol level is up. Her energy level is up. She feels fine. We repeat the test in another 6 months, make sure she's nice and stable. That is how easy it is to identify a hormone imbalance and to correct a hormone imbalance. All right. I just want you to see what you will be getting after you do your saliva test. All right. Thanks a lot. So, Rebel, is that easy or not?
It definitely seems easy. Now, what hormones is that? Do we have a range of hormones, or are we looking at a specific range of hormones in the saliva test?
No, it's estrogen, progesterone, testosterone, and DHEA. So for women, the real key is balancing that estrogen and progesterone. That estrogen progesterone ratio is key. Is you look at that estrogen, okay, where does her progesterone need to be? 200 times that. When you do that, a myriad of symptoms go away: hot flashes, mood swings, difficulty sleeping, losing weight, just by that one little tweak. And that's what we talk about with functional medicine, is that most of the time you can do one thing. If you do the one root cause, all of these other symptoms go away. In conventional medicine, we try and take each symptom and give a solution or a drug for each symptom. Here's your sleeping pill. Here's your antidepressant for your mood swings. Here's your weight loss drug for your gain in weight. Here's, your gabapentin from, it's all of these things. But when you can fix the root cause, you fix her stress and you fix her hormones, now everything else gets better. Now she can think about her purpose. Now maybe she can quiet her mind and meditate and kind of get back in touch with her true self. So that's why that's the initial thing. Can we get you hormonally and neurologically back to normal? Now we can go deeper.
Medicines contradict themselves.
Oh, yeah.
Cause more problems.
Exactly. And that's what I'm talking about. When you hit the root cause, all these other symptoms go away. when you add a medication, you may quiet one symptom, but you're going to cause two or three more. That's why on all these commercials, the last 30 seconds or 20 seconds is talking about all of the things, all of the side effects that it can have, they can have. So you give one drug and then it can cause 20 different problems. Okay. And you're not going to have all 20 of them, but hey, if you have 10% of them, that's two problems. Now you have double the problems that you had at the beginning. So, hey, I know it's commercial time. So let's do that. And then if you have some more questions, I have four other things that we need to talk about. But number one is get your hormones right. Okay, so let's have our commercial. We'll come back and finish up.
We are going to a quick break, so stay with us as we explore the ageless blueprint right here on W4HC Radio and Talk4 TV. An ancient secret with a modern twist for better health and vitality. Dr. Taylor will be right back. Taking care of your health shouldn't mean taking a handful of pills every day. At Taylor MD Formulations, they create doctor-developed supplements that combine the best natural ingredients so you get the results you need with fewer pills. Taylor MD Formulations is backed by science, designed for real life with real results. Less pills, better health, doctor approved. Shop now at TaylorMDFormulations.com and discover smarter supplements for smarter health. That's TaylorMDFormulations.com. We are back for more of Ageless Blueprint. Once again, let's join Dr. Taylor for more insights and research on the ancient secret to better health and a better life in modern times. Here's your host, Dr. Eldred Taylor.
Okay, I'm back. This is Dr. Taylor. It's Ageless Blueprint. I'm the hormone doctor and the spiritual MD. Hey, Rebel, you were talking about if there are other hormones. Probably the other hormone that most people are familiar with is thyroid hormone. And let me tell you this about after 40 and thyroid hormone. A lot of women are put on thyroid medication around the time of menopause because they begin to gain weight. Well, let me tell you the root cause of that weight gain is actually because progesterone is diminished in perimenopause and menopause. Now, estrogen, which causes you to store fat, is dominant. Now, the other thing that estrogen does, it increases something called thyroid binding globulin. And it does just what it sounds like. It binds thyroid hormone. So when it's bound, it can't attach to the receptor. So your thyroid begins to slow down. So a lot of women are put on thyroid medication. But the real problem is that their estrogen progesterone is out of balance. That's why they're gaining weight. So, I asked women, I'm like, have you ever had a thyroid problem before? They're like, no. Well, when did you get put on the thyroid medication? Well, when I was 45, because I was gaining weight. Because most doctors are narrowly focused on thinking that, hey, if you are overweight, either it's low thyroid or you're sneaking in the refrigerator at night and you're not being truthful about what you're eating and how much you're exercising. But I'm going to tell you that you cannot diet and exercise your way past a hormone problem. And women have proven that to themselves already. I can't tell you the number of women that you see in the gym and they're working their behinds off and nothing's happening. And I'm like, you can't exercise and diet your way past a hormone problem. And I've learned that in my 30 years of dealing with women is that once you fix their hormones, now they go and work out and now they start to see results. All right. So any other questions? I know I got to move on. So even thyroid hormone is an issue, but those are the major ones: estrogen, progesterone, testosterone, thyroid hormone. Those are probably the biggest, and those are the ones that can change as you age. A lot of the other hormones, they're going to be the same, corticosteroid. And so, yeah, those are the biggies. All right, let's go to the next one. Now, nervous system burnout. Is this fight or flight? I just left Joe Dispenza's week-long retreat or whatever. And he talks about being addicted to the chemicals of stress. When you are fatigued and when you're burnt out, sometimes the only thing that makes you feel alive is when some kind of crisis happens. And some people are addicted to crises, and they actually create the crisis because that's what they're familiar with. So he talks about being addicted to the heart.